Go for it.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another playoff edition of Cream City Cast. We are Cream City Central's Bucks podcast. Our podcast is presented by our good friends over at Shepherd Express. Just wanted to give them a quick shout out for sponsoring this podcast. All right, Dylan, got a big game 2 tomorrow.
Yep, should be a good one. I'm hoping that there's no fall off from a close game 1 that we had that went to overtime, but it should be an interesting contest. There is a lot that you can tell. It's a physical series. You can tell there's a lot of animosity and there's a lot of tension in the building. I mean, we haven't played them in I believe it's 31 years, they said on the broadcast. So Boston loves their basketball. They're a gritty team. I mean, all their stars are down. They're playing with house money really at this point, and you can kind of tell it in their play. The pressure's kind of on the Bucks, I felt, in game 1. So it'll be interesting to see how the building and how the tension feels. I mean, at least to the TV monitor. But so it'll be interesting to see that. Do you think – I don't know. I think that the most important thing in my book is to make sure that we finish possessions, because that's what kind of killed us at the end of the game in game 1. What would you say your biggest key is?
Oh yeah, definitely the unforced there. You got to cut it out with that 20 turnovers in game 1. That just, you're wasting valuable possessions. These possessions are so much more valuable because it's the postseason. You don't know how many more you're going to get. So the Bucks really need to value every position because, Celtics, terrific defensive team, and they can get it done in transition like the Bucks can. And if you're the Bucks, if you're not forcing turnovers, they did a pretty decent job. They forced 15 turnovers in game 1. If you're not forcing turnovers, you're probably not going to win, which is another key takeaway.
Yeah. I mean, Giannis needs to be Giannis, and he can't have foul trouble. I don't know if we would have won the game if that was a jump ball instead of a foul for the last one, but I know that we're always in a better situation when Giannis is on the court. He had 35, 13, and 7. I mean, you can't replace those numbers, and he needs to be a leader. Eric Bledsoe needs to start contributing as well. Usually, though, after Eric Bledsoe has a bad game like he had against Boston in game 1, he usually bounces back in a pretty good way. So we'll have to see. And especially after getting all that TV mockery kind of that last shot with Terry Rozier where he didn't get back, I can look to see probably an energized and focused Eric Bledsoe going into game 2.
Oh, yeah, they're going to need the Bledsoe to show up for sure. It's 4 of 12 from the floor, 9 points. I mean, he was just awful. He picked a great time to have the worst game of his career in a Bucks uniform so far. So definitely do not expect that same performance for tomorrow in game 2. Got to get more from Jabari. And I think if he doesn't show much in game 2, it's just a further testament that, brings up the question, is he unplayable in this series?
I mean, he may not be unplayable because of his offensive stuff, but defensively, he looks very slow when switching on to guards, and even playing against like Morris. It doesn't, and I can't say his name, but the guy from SMU on Boston, Ojulaway or something like that. He also got, Ojulay. He got past Parker a couple times also. So you need to see more from Jabari. At the very least, you need to see a more engaged Jabari Parker, because I feel like a more engaged Jabari Parker is a better Jabari Parker. In the body language also, as we mentioned in our previous episode, I think is crucial, because you want everyone to be bought in, and we need to be focused. I mean, this is a huge opportunity for us to steal a game, and to win a playoff series. I mean, we haven't won a playoff series since 2001, and we're playing against a superstarless team right now in the first round.
Yeah, pressure is definitely on the Bucks. They have the longest playoff drought without winning a series in the NBA currently, so you definitely want to get that cloud removed from over you. But for me, I just think Brad Stevens is too good of a coach to not exploit some of these mismatches the Bucks have. Although I would like to see Sterling Brown play a little more. He barely played. I think he played like 30 seconds yesterday, maybe even less. Yeah. So I'd definitely like to see more Sterling. Brogdon's going to be playing 30 minutes plus this whole series.
Zeller.
I mean, I didn't really have a problem with the rotation yesterday. I actually saw some things that I like from Joe Prunty. I thought he did a good job adjusting the defense, definitely dialed down the pressure, and that definitely gave Boston some problems.
Yeah, they kept mentioning on the broadcast on Fox Sports Wisconsin yesterday about not extending yourselves more so, but just using the natural length that you have. And I think that's very important. Kind of the Jason Kidd thing. Over pressure, we're not quick, but we're long. So why don't we play like a good long defense where you don't have to move, but you just use your natural. And you don't see the press, the pressure, the trapping. It is a good idea, but it's not what this team is built for. No. It's built to cover space, not move space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's those little split seconds where and it kind of happens when the Celtics get the ball under the basket quite a bit. If you really watch the game and see the tendencies of where these guards go, everyone's driving to the basket.
Yeah, and that over-pressuring, extending type defense only leaves holes in the paint where, Boston pretty much lives in. So definitely appreciate not trapping and dialing it down allows for more deflections. And, the Bucks, I think they're one of the top teams in causing deflections. And, that's a recipe for turnovers, live ball turnovers and transition buckets.
Yeah, no doubt. And like to shore up the offensive glass. We lost the offensive rebounding battle 11-5. A couple second chance points and some key situations in the fourth quarter, and I believe in overtime as well. So, I mean, just being a little more sharp and will get you those extra couple points that you need to beat this team. So, offensive rebounding, limit the turnovers. This is all things that are very easy to do if you focus on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And if Terry Rozier is going to put up 23 points per game this series, you can kiss your chances goodbye. So that's another key factor for me is, Terry Rozier is a decent player, but, you can't let him score 23 points like that.
He was looking like John Wall out there or something. Like he was blowing by people, getting to the rim, creative. I mean, Terry Rozier is a pretty good player, honestly. I know he's been kind of stuck in behind a point guard every time with Kyrie and Isaiah Thomas, but he's emerged into quite a little player as a backup.
Yeah, and Marcus Morris had 21 points, but it took him 20 shots to get there. He also made some ridiculously crazy shots with the defense all in his face. So, that happens. Tatum's going to get his buckets. Al Horford is going to kill us no matter what. So it's more about limiting, the role players like Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier.
Yeah.
Greg Monroe didn't really have much of an impact.
No. Well, you had 5 players score around 20 points for the Celtics, and that was the majority of their scoring other than Shane Larkin with 5. So you knock out one of those guys to like 15 or 16, maybe 12 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't have all 5 people scoring 20 points. You're not going to win. It's just the math doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't. But, got to make your free throws too. Bucks 19 of 24 and Boston was 24 of 27.
Yeah. But I like the pace that the Bucks played at for the most part. There was a couple of times during the game where Boston would score and there would be a lot of energy in the building and they'd go down and take a dumb shot. Sometimes you just got to play your tempo. You can't play into what they want you to do because that's exactly what they want to do. And especially in Boston where those fans are ridiculous and they're loud and they'll get under your skin and it'll hurry you up because a couple of possessions there, it looked like the Bucks were kind of in a hurry when they didn't need to be.
Oh, yeah. Whenever Boston made a quick spurt of like 8.80 run, the Bucks, they would just unnecessarily go down the floor and, take a really bad shot. I saw a lot of that. So like you said, keeping your composure, I'm sure there were some jitters yesterday, but you can't have that going down the road. Can't have that.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. There's a lot of that'll go into it. We know what to expect now. And the bar has been set for how intense the game needs to be from the start to the finish. We just need a little bit more from the role players. That's what it is. Our big guys are there, Middleton and Giannis. Now just Bledsoe comes on, gives us look at the Thunder. I kind of look at like us and like the Thunder are kind of similar. You need a big game from one guy, you need a pretty good game from the other guy, and you need a decent game from the third guy. And if you get that, you're good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, totally. But it's like a lottery. You never know what you're gonna get. Like a mixed bag of tricks. Eric Bledsoe, man, it's just a roller coaster with him. You got to take the good with the bad, but man, he's just a roller coaster out there.
Yeah, he definitely is. I'd like him to exploit his speed more, but like he needs the finish. He tries to go up there and body these big dudes for contact and trying to finish for and ones. Needs to be a little more crafty, I think, trying to finish the ball. Try to find some space rather than trying to meet these big guys at top. And they're not calling many fouls, so you kind of got to adjust to what the situation is, especially with the refs.
Yeah, I would like definitely Tony Snell to hit a few more threes.
Yeah.
I think if he hits anywhere around 3 threes, looking pretty good for the Bucks.
Yeah. We all have dreams, so.
Yeah, the dream is free. He's been playing that bad.
Yeah. Good defensively.
But offensively, it's just like a black hole. It's just like nothing.
Absolutely. An abyss, some would say. All right. Should we let's get to prediction time. Let's make some statements with our names behind them and our credibility.
All right, well, a lot riding on this, man.
Yeah, I want to score too.
Oh, you want to score? Do you want like a line score too with like Giannis, Middleton, Bledsoe, or more just a score?
Whatever you decide, dude. I'm gonna appreciate.
Never trust the Bucks, but I'm gonna take the Bucks in Game 2. This is arguably the biggest game of the series, unless there is a Game 7. So you definitely need to steal home court. But I got the Bucks coming up big. I think Bledsoe's gonna have a bounce back performance, expecting him to score somewhere around the 20s. Don't think Chris Middleton will do what he did in Game 1, but he'll definitely put up his numbers. Giannis as well. I'll take the Bucks 112-96 over the Celtics.
I kind of get that feel too. The Bucks kind of surprise you sometimes, and they really, really can show up and actually send a message on some games after they take a tough loss. So I don't think it's going to – I think they're going to start out really big, and I think Boston's going to make a comeback, and it'll kind of fizz out at the end. I'm going to go Bucks probably I'm going to say 115 to 108. Okay. So 7 points, I think, is a realistic chance. I mean, they could lose by a lot, though.
Well, yeah, never trust the Bucks. So, it also wouldn't surprise me if they won by like 12 or 15, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if they lost by like 20.
We'll see. I hope they win.
You hope for the best, of course.
Yeah, I'm going to be going to the playoff game. So.
Oh, really? Nice. Yes. Hopefully you'll send them some good vibes.
Yeah, or I'm going to have to stop doing this podcast.
Yeah, if they lose when you're there, I think it's done. I think you should just stop being a Bucks fan.
Hey, I might be a 76ers fan the way that Ben Simmons is playing.
Yes, this might be some sabotage. So
yeah, trust the future? Question mark?
Oh God, results.
All right. Well, thanks to our sponsors, Shepherd Express. Check them out at shepherdexpress.com. They got really cool selection of things over there. News around MKE. Summer is coming. It is very snowy outside right now, but summer is coming, so there'll be a lot of things to do in Milwaukee. So check out the Shepherd Express to get all of your needs. Andrew, give the people something to go out on.
It's currently 63 degrees in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
Well, end on that note.
maybe you can see Andrew take some pictures of some warm weather in the sunset at Andrew_Goodman3. If you want to see pictures of a lot of snow, heavy, icy snow that was very hard to shovel, you can follow me at TylanPiccolo35. Always at Cream City Central. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, so please share to your friends. 5-star reviews help. Might be doing a giveaway here for one of these games coming up soon. So just keep active and go Bucks.